Good evening, one and all. Welcome to a slash-tastic Sunday. I hate that I did that, but we're here to talk about slasher-related content. I'm joined by channel regular Cody Leach. How are you, sir?
Not too bad, actually. Usually I'm pretty tired and exhausted, but it wasn't too bad of a weekend. I got a lot done. Just got done making some steak and elote tacos that turned out awesome, so my mood's good.
Man. All right, so I'm salivating. My gallbladder does not approve, but I don't care.
There you go.
So we're going to be spoiling both I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Everybody fucking dies.
I guess both of them technically, because we're going to talk about some deviation. And for those of you who are probably still watching Dexter on Showtime, you old timers, cut the cable already. We'll do Dexter episode 3 to close the show, but for the most part, you're going to be spoiled. So your warning is here, and I'll maybe put something up on the screen to cut the two up. But yeah, I don't know how the hell I got dragged into watching I Know What You Did Last Summer. I guess it was. I think it started with Brian like doing the run up, and I was like, man, Brian's in on this too. And then
so much for no more horror.
Yeah, he's going to do horror except the month of October. He's going to do horror every month except October. Yeah. So just seeing the hubbub, I got involved and saw it with my uncle. And there's one event that happens in the movie that I thought was like the big ooh. And I text Cody and I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, to whatever you're saying. And there was like 4 or 5 more things where I'm like, oh my, that's not even that bad. What was I worried about? Yeah.
Wait for it.
Yeah, he's like, wait,
stay on target.
What are you talking about? Yeah, so the director of Do Revenge, which I thought was unique, interesting, Heathers for the modern crowd, unique and interesting and satirical and nice. I don't know if when I watch Do Revenge, I would think, yeah, remake I Know What You Did Last Summer, because this screams that. I don't know if you've seen Do Revenge, Cody.
I have not. Okay.
All right. Yeah, it's like a modern Jennifer's Body, just same vein as Heather's and things like that. So it's slick, it's smart, it's funny. Definitely we're of the wrong gender to be the target audience, but I think it's interesting that you take something like I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is an established franchise, and advertise it, to fans of the original franchise, and kind of bait and switch for the sake of what? Like it isn't too hard a pivot, but it's definitely geared towards a more female audience, I would argue. Like, I was a teenager when the original came out. It was like Jennifer Love Hewitt's cleavage in this movie. That's all the only note that I had for it. And they don't really lean on sex appeal, the male gaze, the way they did in, most other slashers. But the trailers don't do the narrative justice, I would argue. What did you expect going into this movie, Cody?
Well, I kind of had a little bit of a roller coaster. So when they announced the idea, I was like, really? Like, I'm a 90s kid, but I don't know if anybody's really asking for that one. And at the time, there was a lot of back and forth on whether or not Freddie Prinze Jr., Jennifer Love Hewitt would return. And I'm like, well, if they're not into it, I'm definitely out. They're the only reason I'd be interested. And then they finally were. But then I remember reading like the press release or it was Variety or somebody, and it made it sound like they agreed, but it's not going to be in like very much of the movie. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? So it was like up and down. And then the trailer came out and I was like, yeah, this kind of reaffirms all my concerns. It just kind of looks like the same old shit, but modern. And you're not really selling me on even what the legacy characters are doing here. So I was not expecting it to be good. And then all the early reactions came out and it was like really good. Like, not just like, hey, I was surprised. It was pretty good. It was like, this is outstanding. This is one of the best legacy sequels I've ever seen. There was more than one person that said something to the effect of, this is what Scream should have been, or this is what Scream should have done. And I was like, holy shit, is this going to be like a big surprise this summer? Hell yeah, I'm all for that. And then I see the movie and I'm like, yeah, that narrative that all critics are paid and all the early reactors are full of shit trying to get pull quoted, that ain't going away anytime soon, is it? It was, I think if I didn't have my expectations raised by some of the early reactions, which is one of the reasons why I get really passionate about people possibly being dishonest about them, I wouldn't have been so hard on it. But I just didn't think it was very good. Like, you know, and I don't really hold the first one in that high of a regard. I think
Right.
it's like just above a 3-star for me. It's not like a 90s classic in my mind, but I do have a little nostalgia for it. The second one's pretty bad, but I have a little, you know, guilty pleasure with it. This one I just thought was horribly written. I thought the dialogue was horribly written. I thought the characters were badly written. The story doesn't make any sense, especially once you see where things are in the third act. You start going back to act 1 and 2, and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't work now. This doesn't make sense. So it was a movie that when I walked out of the theater, I was hovering around like a 2 out of 5. And the more I thought about it, the less I liked it.
Yeah.
And so, and I don't know if I get more put off or more like perplexed. Once in a while, you and I have this exact conversation where we see something that both of us are like, that's not good at all. And then there's a big chunk of the horror community that's like, it's horror, it's slasher, it's awesome, blood, good. And I'm like,
it's new. Don't you want
yeah,
new?
or like you'll get the, you know, I saw one TikTok that was going around. It's like, can people just have fun with movies anymore? Why do we got to critique everything? And it's like, do we just as long as there's a killer I recognize and some blood on the screen, cool. Don't put any more effort into it. It's all good. It just drives me nuts. But yeah, as somebody that I'd say I'm a casual fan of the franchise, I thought this was the worst of the 3 that stars Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah.
Nowhere near as bad as the Always, but you know, there's painful shits that are better than that movie.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say she's not in that, is she? But that you
No.
prefaced that. That's right. I think the fact that they mimicked the opening shot from the first one, what I thought was fun in the original movie, the opening shot of the beach and the typo negative cover of Summer Breeze, like just to juxtapose the beautiful imagery that you're looking at. That's just taken away. So they copy the opening shot, but it's like modern poppy whatever shit. It's just like, so you're doing the same shot, but you're not. It's ironic because this movie kind of is a juxtaposition in itself for anyone who's expecting the original. I guess that opening shot is more than enough warning for that. But there's a bunch of moments where I guess they're using what we expect visually and then just kind of subverting that, because they introduce like this Stevie character. It's like the same dynamic, 2 couples, but this time there's this fifth wheel that ends up working for like it's all upper middle class kids who don't know what problems are, and the fifth wheel happens to be like working or like getting bottles or something from the house party or some shit, right?
She's delivering the alcohol.
Yeah. So she's one of the lowly employees, and they whisper and talk about her before they actually invite her to go on a ride with them. And
that scene is the perfect example of like, as soon as that, I mean, we're 10 minutes into the movie at this point, and the dialogue is so like over explaining that it just doesn't even feel natural. Like I riffed on it in my review. Like, you know, you have the group of friends where they see her and it's like, oh my God, is that Stevie? Yeah, we're not really friends with her anymore ever since last summer, whenever her father had that thing that happened. And then it cuts to her and she's like, oh my God, Stevie, is that your friends over there staring at you? Yeah, we're not really friends anymore. So after that thing happened last summer with my father, where he took all of my college money and pissed it away, and they got to go to college and I didn't. Maybe I should go say hi. And it's like, people don't talk that way. You just like, it feels like I said it was like feeling like somebody was narrating the movie through the mouths of the characters.
Well, yeah. The thing that you brought up that I thought it, but when you said it in your review, I was like, yeah, fucking A. The opening shot is of the main character, like looking in the mirror, and she's like talking to her mom, where the picture is like attached to the mirror, and she's just like giving you every piece of like exposition just left and right. Like, I have to wear this because of this, and this is what's happening tonight. And oh, you want to do this because your boyfriend.
They do that three times in a row to establish that she's ex with one of the guys. It's like we got that from the mirror scene. You didn't need a scene with her reestablishing that with the best friend and then the guy reestablishing it a second time. It's back to back to back.
Yeah.
It's not like first act, second act, third act. We're going to remind you. It's like, by the way, they used to date.
Yeah, it's funny they do that they roll out that red carpet like that, because when we get to something else that I feel is kind of just shoehorned in there just because, and I'm not going to say the W word, but there are moments where this movie's just like trying to get social credit, and it doesn't fit. But so they bring the fifth wheel along, and already this is, you know, a different dynamic than what you know of the original. And this time, they're high and driving, not exactly drunk driving, which is a little different.
Well, it's not even so much that they're driving. I hated the way that they recreated the inciting incident, because you really watered down the whole moral dilemma there, where in the original, like, there's not one teenager that drank in high school that did not at some point end up in a vehicle with somebody who should not be driving, or at least somebody who should not be a passenger. Every single teenager in the United States and probably across the world knows that experience. And so they're just fucking around, and, you know, a couple of them are drunk, the sober one's driving, but there's so much commotion, and then they hit something. And they're like, oh my God, our lives are going to be ruined. We can either do the right thing now, or we can save our own ass and just act like it never happened.
They do a brake check. Because I thought it was like a fake out where, like, the guy's like, oh my God, and then they stop short.
Well, I'm talking about the original.
Oh, okay, right.
I'm talking about the original. So that's the whole setup of the original, is this whole moral dilemma, and then they end up paying for it for the rest of the film because they made the wrong decision. In this one, they're just stupid. It's not, I mean, not to say that the people in the original didn't make some dumb choices, but yeah, we're gonna go up this windy mountain road. We're going to park in the middle of the fucking road. And then the dumbass, you know, Ryan Phillippe stand-in character is going to stand on the road and be like, I'm going to play chicken with the oncoming traffic. And then, they have the fake out thing, which is like, cute. And then, you have what actually happens. And it's like, you should have just hit somebody. Like, now I don't like any of you because you're all just morons. And it's not even really a moral dilemma, because the deed's already done. The person's likely dead. Like, there's not a what should we do in this moment. It's like, oh fuck, do we turn ourselves in and take blame for what's already happened, or do we just go about our merry way? Moral quandary of it all is severely lessened and much dumber.
There is none, because he essentially is guilty of playing chicken and endangering someone who is going fast anyway. So, like, this movie kind of bails out our characters before anything takes off, where they even try to save the guy who nearly, like, hits him and then, like, barrels over the side and is kind of clinging for a little bit, and they're trying to get him out. And like, I thought when the driver of the truck grabbed someone's jacket and the person, like, spun out of it, like, I thought that was going to be connected somehow, or it's like the police
Me too.
find that jacket, like, oh, here's some evidence.
Never gets brought up again.
Nope. And so, like, they're guilty of not reporting it right away. Like, it really takes the teeth out of the moral dilemma. Like I think I brought it up in mine, where, like, this is a staple of slashers. You think of Prom Night, Friday the 13th. It's always like, you're paying because you kids are stupid. This is borderline negligent. Like, what are they guilty of?
Yeah.
And like, that's where everything throws off. The fifth wheel wants to tell the police, and spoiler, she's got it out for them after that. And then it, like, fast forwards a year later, and they don't really tell you what happened with the driver of the car who fell over a cliff. So, I mean,
they just say, yeah, my dad's going to take care of everything. Let's go home. And then it just cuts to a year later. But then the other thing it does, which, again, I'm not going to compare every detail to the original, because I'm a little fuzzy on it. And I guess, as I already said, I'm not, like, beholden to the original anyway. But when you get reintroduced to all these characters a year later, like, they don't make any of them likable. You
Right.
have the Sarah Michelle Gellar stand-in who's already engaged to some other douchebag in less than a year, and she's doing that whole, like, "Oh, take the picture and do all," like, she's the total personality of somebody that you just don't like, and you know, the entitled queen. And then you have, the other chick who just randomly is, like, having, like, a girl-on-girl
That's it.
moment that
That's ex
goes completely, like, out of nowhere. It's just like, "Is this, like, a trauma thing?" Like, and then, we don't get to learn anything else about her ex-boyfriend. The one guy who's the douchebag is just, like, not there anymore,
yeah.
and Stevie's just in the background. So, I mean, like, it's just, you don't really have anybody that you latch into as, like, "I like them. I root for them."
Yeah, so what you brought up, that's the exact moment where I was just like, "All right, this is gonna be something later," but it ends up just being this one night stand thing on a
It's
plane.
just a way to get the podcast
Yeah,
character in the
right,
mix.
and it's like you could have done that a different way, but, they
Mhm.
have a little affair there, and it's kind of jarring because this is the same girl that was explaining to the mirror that she's so involved with the boyfriend and ex-boyfriend, this, that, and the other thing, but there's this little moment where she is bi-curious because trauma or because convenience. Airport, they're boring, I admit that, but just a weird thing. I'm not saying, I'm against the idea of a bi character or, just having some sort of moment like that, but, like, have it mean something. Like, the fact that, like, she's talking so hard about, her ex-fiance or ex-boyfriend character, and then there's this one night stand thing, and then we don't hear about it ever again. Like, it's just a departure for what reason? Like, again, make it make sense. Is it because of trauma? Because, like, why am I doing the thinking for you and your character?
That's the whole script to me, is we have to get the characters from A to C without going through B. And all throughout the movie, it's like that. We need a podcast character here that at least introduces them to the idea that this happened again in 1997. So how do we get her into the mix? Let's have her fuck the main chick in the bathroom and then get a ride. And then we'll, just she never gets to meet anybody else. And I mean, we haven't gotten past the first act yet, but all throughout the movie is like this. It's like character thinks this because we need them to. Character does this because we need them to. Like even the scene where you get the "I know what you did last summer" card. There's a group of 5 people that know about this secret, and only 4 of them are there. And not one person is like, obviously, it's this other guy fucking with us. Like, there's no reason to even sit here and speculate. But they're sitting there like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And then the Wayne chick out of nowhere, she's like, "Well, what if the guy didn't actually die?" And it's like, why the fuck would you think that until you confirm with the other character first? Like, if you believe him, then it's like, oh shit, there's a 6th person knows about this, but they just leap to it because the movie needs them to.
Right, and this is already a problem with doing a remakequel of the
Mhm.
original. The original, they are guilty of something. Like, they know the person's dead. Like, they did it. Where this time, again, why have that scene where the shirt gets pulled off and taken down? Like, it would be interesting if someone mailed the shirt. Like, oh, ooh,
Mhm.
the last time I saw this was uh-oh. Like,
Yeah.
it's just strange that, like, why would you be that, because you didn't call the cops? Like, why would that be an immediate buzzer for you? Like, it they really, I don't know, if this movie were its own thing, if there weren't an original "I Know What You Did Last Summer," people would be like, "This doesn't make any fucking sense." But it's kind
Mhm.
of like leaning on the past, like, "You remember when this happened? So, we're kind of doing the same thing, but not really. We're trying to be, like, I don't know, cutting edge or different," and, like, you don't earn any of this shit. And the fifth wheel character, like, she's now, like, embedded in the group, like, she's with the Sarah Michelle Gellar character, the Timu Sydney Sweeney, and, like, she's a part of the group, and, not, didn't seem like she was one of the employees anymore. She was kind of in the group. So, um, the note happens, and Stevie has a comment where she's like, "I was starting to put." No, wait, was that when she says, "I was starting to put my life back together"? That was before or after the letter?
I think she said that at the scene of the crime, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. Maybe she said it again. I mean, it wasn't like I was keeping a log, but I know it. we're skipping ahead, but that was I knew Stevie was going to be the killer in the first 15 minutes of the movie. I don't know about you. Like, first of all, just the way that they introduced her as so ostracized from the other four. Like you said, they're all like upper middle class,
Yeah.
but there's one lower class person.
Yeah.
They're all couples, but she's the fifth wheel. They got their shit together somewhat, and she had a dark past. Like, in the first moment we meet her, I'm like, laying that on a little thick, aren't we? Fuck. And then we get to the scene of the crime, and she's literally the only person who's like, I just got my life back together. This is going to fuck it all up. And I'm like, so she's the only one of the five that's going to have a reason to be pissed in a year. Interesting. You're not doing a very good job at hiding this. And so, yeah, she said it at the scene of the crime. I don't know if she said anything after the note.
Yeah, I
She
guess
made it clear that she was trying to build her life back, and then at that moment kind of put a big roadblock on it.
I think the thing that stuck with me was the fact that, she was an employee before the crash, and then now that we're ahead a year, she was like in the group again, where it's just like, oh, okay, so financially
She was still
doing
working
better.
for Ray.
Oh, that's right. Well, yeah, that's very
'cause
important.
There's literally a scene in the movie where they're like, nobody sleeps alone. We all have to stay here together. And then Stevie's like, well, I got to go to work. And they're like, all right, see you later. Everybody has to stay here. Like, she just leaves in that moment. That I'm like, again, she's the killer. Obviously, she's the only one that leaves. Like, it was so bad at hiding it. And then you have all these red herring characters throughout the movie who are like the most overt red herring, where it's like, I'm acting fucking weird as shit. Like, even the podcast chick, it's like, I wonder why she's so bizarre every time we talk to her.
Yeah, this place is so hot or so nice. I want to die or something. It's just like, ugh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the podcast chick is actually the first to go, which is interesting.
Second, the fiance where she's in the bathtub goes first.
Perhaps my favorite kill in the movie. Like, I thought it's spoiled in the trailer because, like, that's the thing you see where he's like got a grapple and he's like trying to walk one way. I dig that kill.
It's the only thing that's kind of new for the fisherman is the harpoon gun.
Because it's a different fisherman. That's why.
Yeah.
It's not the same fisherman. Yeah. So that kill was interesting. I'm trying to remember what.
At some point, she hooks back up with the podcast chick, and she takes her to where Sarah Michelle Gellar's sister was killed in the original, where it was like an art
restaurant
place or something like that,
Yeah.
And the movie, that's the element of the nostalgia that I liked in the movie, was that they were kind of like always going back to events or scenes from the original. But yeah, they have that, and they have the whole chase scene where the fisherman shows up and, tries to kill Ava and doesn't, and then she gets locked in that little thing that falls on her, that little cage, and then the podcast girl goes up the dumbwaiter, which is also a little nod to the original, and gets cornered, and she fights and pulls the hat off and goes, you, and then gets killed and thrown off as if she hung herself. And in that moment, I knew that Ray was also involved. I don't know about you, but
I didn't. I thought maybe they were going to do something. I mean, I figured it had to be someone old, because why would podcast chick who has all of the information, why would anyone under the age of 40 make any sort of difference to her?
Exactly. They didn't have a scene where she met the rest of the cast.
Right.
So it's not like, the only person that she knows is in a cage right now. So the only if it's not Freddie Prinze Jr. or Jamie Lee Curtis, Jennifer Love Hewitt, it's ex-boyfriend guy. I didn't believe for a second he was going to be the killer, and at some point that's confirmed. But yeah, when she goes, I'm like, who wrote this? She would only react that way if it was one of two people, and there's no way in hell they're going to make Jennifer Love Hewitt the killer. At that point, I'm just, I was so frustrated of like, even a bad whodunit, it's still fun to like play along. And to me, it was like I was getting cliff notes. It was like I accidentally saw the answer, and I'm like, what the?
Is there a chance?
What the fuck are we doing?
Is there a chance that they were trying to do shortcuts, like you said, Cliff's Notes of like Scream. Like when Drew Barrymore gets killed in Scream, she pulls the mask off. We don't see it. We don't really have her reaction. I think Henry Winkler's character, when he dies, he tries to pull the mask, and neither of them are like you. There's no real reaction. Where there are multiple moments that I've seen it and you've referenced that people are talking about. Oh, this is what the Scream reboots should have been, and I think they did things backwards, where they're like trying to use the Scream playbook, but not earning the payoff there. It's very, very strange.
I honestly don't know what people are meaning when they say that Scream should have done this. Like, is it just that they made a legacy character have a heel turn?
I mean, that's what happened in Scream, right? Like, oh, we loved him, but he's the killer. What do we do?
Well, I mean, but like, it's funny to me because there's people that still revolt against what happened to Dewey, but making somebody a killer wouldn't also have that same I don't know. That's a whole other franchise, but
I'm telling you, it's the Last Jedi for slashers, except, you know, Star Wars has a hell of a lot more fans than I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, I don't know, like if I was awesome, like if I thought I Know What You Did Last Summer was like one of the best slashers ever, I'd be like, wait, that's not my, that's not hashtag, not my, whatever. Like, I don't feel like, I feel like, I'm going to go back to Star Wars. So already you have a close call with two characters at once, and I don't know if again another callback to Scream is there's technically two killers. I don't know if I have the interest in going back and being like, okay, which one was the fisherman at this moment and stuff like that, where it just doesn't matter to me, where by the end it gets really convoluted. So Podcast Chick is sort of irrelevant, but has a line that makes you think, okay, that's interesting. Why'd you say that? And I'm trying to remember how quickly they bring us to Jennifer Love Hewitt's character. Is it immediately after that scene where like her jump cut is her screaming or something?
Well, it's I think it's where the chick falls out the window with the banner around her or whatever, and then it cuts to like a few hours later where all the paramedics and everybody are there and everybody's gathered around, and then they have that scene where they're like, "What are we gonna do?" They're like, "I know one person who can help us," and then hard cuts to her screaming and doing that little act for her class or whatever, and
yeah, she like teaches trauma now. Very, very similar to Robert Englund's character in Urban Legend, which I would like to see more of her class. Can we just have a spin-off of Jennifer Love Hewitt's class, please? Because that was kind of interesting. And I've seen it a couple of times. That's like, do we have to is trauma the thing in horror now? Like, does all horror in modern day need to focus and revolve around trauma? Like, I don't know if do you need slashers to revolve around trauma? Like, don't we have Hereditary and things like that to be like the trauma thing, like a change of pace? Like, I don't want trauma to be, a Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, they're different things. Like, I don't know. It's not as big a deal, but it's certainly mentioned. So Jennifer Love Hewitt's character, I feel like there was enough moments where they gave themselves enough to work with her and suffering from trauma, but like they take this shortcut in bringing her into the loop where the main character's like, I got a letter, and the immediate line is like, "What did you do last summer?" It's just like, ugh.
Every one-liner they tried to give her was so bad. And I'm like, why are you doing this to her? Why are you making her say this? Because it's ridiculous for her to ask that. What did you do last summer? It's like, so you didn't believe that there was a letter or that a fisherman slicker killer is back, but you believe that if something's happening to them, they must have done something nefarious that's a secret from last summer. Like, it's just it's almost borderline parody.
Dude, that's something I would put in the trailer to draw people in and not have in the movie. Like,
yes,
there's fan service, but we're not putting it in the movie. We're just trying to get you all salivating.
Exactly. And I thought it was just, yeah, it's weird that the very next scene is like Jennifer Love Hewitt like explaining the rules of how to survive the fisherman. It's like, bitch, this isn't Final Destination.
Yes.
There's no playbook here. Or she's like, it's going to be personal and you can't hide and you can't run. You have to take the fight to them. And I'm like, I hated the writing. I hated the writing.
I think they're like, again, I feel like this is shorthand for Scream. Like they're going to do the Scream blueprint, but they're doing it in the universe of I Know What You Did Last Summer, which itself is something of a copycat of Scream, but also like having their cake and eating it too by like switching things and doing the playbook, but also just fucking around with things and just I don't know the amount of we're exploiting nostalgia, but also kind of shitting on it is so bizarre to me.
Yeah, I said, I don't know if I said it in my review, but I at least said it in like my tweet about it. I said it feels like the movie rewards your nostalgia as much as it punishes it.
Yeah. And I don't know, the slight subtext that I had from this, which, kind of getting all over the place, is it's almost telling the modern generation, don't worry. The last generation fucked things up for you. We're sorry. Like, okay. That doesn't really make sense for the slasher subgenre, but interesting touch. So I see I have the order out of order now. I was trying to keep track of who was where because can you carry me through the next kills? Because the podcast chick is gone. The
everybody else goes to meet Ray. So she meets Ava meets Jennifer Love Hewitt, and then everybody goes to meet Ray, and we get reintroduced. It's the town hall meeting. After that, they're all in the town hall, and they're like, it's like the mayor from Jaws. Everything's okay, guys. We're gonna have a great 4th of July. And Ray comes in. You need to tell everybody what happened. You know what happened in 1997. And then they go to his bar because Stevie knows him. Because they're like, isn't that your boss?
Yeah. Real quick. If he's involved in things, why would he interrupt the town hall meeting to say that? Like, if Ray's motivation is everyone needs to remember, why not just if you want people to remember, why would you just like plant the seed there at the town hall meeting and not take it any further? It doesn't make sense. Like if you think about either of the killer's motivations, it's just like, well, wait, when you did this, what was your purpose here? Because it's very much like the Jaws thing where they're doing the, fake out because you're thinking that what is he, the mayor? What the hell is his job there?
Rich guy.
Yeah. Yeah, just a rich guy who happens to be on the board or whatever. Like they make it really comical that it's supposed to be him for a little bit. Then there's the pastor where he's got interesting things behind him. They go so hard with the misdirects where it's like, yeah, never mind that. What does this mean? But yeah, Ray calls attention and they go to the bar. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So they go to the bar and then he has his little, nostalgia moment where he's looking back and he's like, oh shit, you bothered Julie about this. And pretty soon after that, you have Julie James at her house and her alarm is going off from the back door to the front door. It ends up being Ray. And he comes in, and at first it's like, I like the line where she's like, I was expecting somebody to come here and kill me, and it's even worse, it's you, which just establishes how much they hate each other. But as somebody that at least is somewhat invested in the original, I need to know why.
Yeah.
All they do is give like this little breadcrumb that you can kind of just draw assumptions from that, like, she moved past her trauma and he couldn't. And it's like, that's not good enough for me. All the shit they went through, and she's just like, oh, you can't get over it. Fuck you. And then they just hate each other. Like, it's one thing if they just didn't work out, but they still had some kind of admiration for each other or some kind of regret that it didn't work out. But to have the level of disdain that they did. I'm like, something happened. What the fuck was it?
Yeah, Luke Skywalker starts at a low point, but by the end of Last Jedi, he does the thing that he's so against. But that's the last time I'll talk about it. But yeah, it's like you need to tell us why this character is this way, and then to go in such a different direction.
Yeah,
Like,
they're literally in an opposite point that they were when we left them in 1998. And again, you're wanting us to go from A to C without giving us B. And so
and then
I like
on a different page altogether.
Yeah, it's like A to F. But yeah, I liked this scene as far as their acting, because it was kind of cool to see them once again on screen with each other, playing off each other in a very different tone than you've ever seen. But you know, he says that he was concerned for her, and then very quickly just starts to get on her ass about, like, why did you tell all these kids to take the fight to the fisherman? What the fuck are you doing? Which, again, when you know the end of the film, it's like, clearly he's there because he doesn't want them stirring up trouble for his mission, him and Stevie's mission or whatever. Why doesn't he just fucking kill her? Why?
Yeah,
There's so many moments, like even go back to where we were just at. Like, you had Ava getting chased and the podcast girl getting chased. I don't know if it happened just before or just after this. There's a scene where you have Danica and Teddy in the graveyard looking at Helen Shiver's grave, and then Danica gets chased. And it's like, why are you chasing them and attacking them if they're supposed to be alive at the end to, like, feel the same pain that you felt? It's just there because the movie needs a chase scene. The movie needs an attack scene. And
I think they said a thing. Well, Stevie said you were the closest to doing something about it, and I think that's why they were the last ones, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's very loose reasoning, but it was something along the lines like you almost did the right thing, so I'm saving you for last. Yeah. Do you think, for the sake of the character Ray, if he didn't know that they told Julie, would he have gone to her house?
No.
So the movie needs him to find out about that. Like, I'm trying to give him the credit.
I'm fine with that because it's an A and B and C thing. But, like, again, just if the scene plays differently when you first see it, if you don't know that he's a killer, you don't suspect him. But when you know or you suspect that, it reads very differently, and it doesn't really make sense to me. But you have their scene together. It doesn't go well. She told him to take the fight. He is at least feigning that he wants them to try to stay out of trouble and stay out of harm's way. You have something in the graveyard, like I said, where they're I forget what they're going to find. No, they're going to look at Danica's parents, and they end up finding the grave of Sarah Michelle Gellar within the same graveyard. And they're like, "Oh my God, she was the same queen as me." That's crazy.
Plus the flowers. There's new flowers on what's his face's tombstone, or like that's a thing where they're like, hey, can you check the videos? Like, okay. I don't know why a cemetery has.
I don't even remember that. But so what was the significance of that? So obviously it's Ray.
Misdirection.
But what? Yeah, but he kills the person who's looking for the video. If you saw Ray leaving flowers on his dead friend's
and he cuts
tombstone, if you see a video of Ray putting flowers on his dead friend's tombstone, it's like, oh yeah, she was slaughtered in 1997, and he still feels bad about it. You wouldn't be like, holy fuck, he's the killer. I didn't even remember that. That's hilarious. I wish I would have said that in my review. But yeah, they have that thing where, somebody left flowers here. This is a clue. We need to figure this out. And the guy that's looking gets fucking.
Yeah. Like, I think, like, when I kept going back, like, as I was texting, I'm like, wait, this doesn't make sense. And as I kept rethinking of it, I was like, wait, that was a misdirect because, like, they thought that the original fisherman was, like, somehow still alive, but, like, they checked it. Like, everyone's buried in the same graveyard in a very rich part of wherever, North Carolina. Interesting. But every time you go back and, like, check something for the sake of who done it, it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, that's hilarious. And then so then the fisherman ends up chasing her. gets her all the way to like where they're staging the floats for the parade or something like that, or for that little pageant, and almost gets her, but is knocked over at the very last second by Teddy. And then the fisherman just hauls ass out the door. And they have their little moment. I don't know what I would do if anything happened to you. And that might be the night where they have the we all need to sleep together, and except for Stevie, fuck off, go to work. And you have them together for the first time since her fiance was killed. And then you have the other two where they're about to have sex, and she's like, choke me. He can't do it.
Dude, I don't know what this movie is saying about sex and trauma, but the girl who just lost her fiance a night or two ago is being flirtatious with her fucking ex. It's just, whoa, why are we all moving in such bizarre directions sexually? Like, she's like, oh, will you sleep with me?
And then the other one wants S&M shit.
It's like, choke me out.
She goes, punish me, I deserve it. And he's like, what the fuck? And so he fucking loses wood,
and then he pays for it. He buys it in a car.
Yeah, he gets choked. And so he leaves, gets it in the car, and the fisherman drives away and leaves a little text, makes her think that he just got weirded out by it. And then they're off doing something the next day, but eventually you get this scene where they're all together again, and Teddy's like, I'm off to the gym. I got to get pumped so I can fight this motherfucker if he comes for me. And then it just cuts to him alone in a sauna, hanging out by himself, nothing but steam. And you get the little call about the "you're next" or whatever. Dude, I don't know what
he had the most. As someone who has 2 scars in my gut, he had the most unbelievable kill sequence where he's getting cut in his gut and screaming, yelling, fighting. As someone who's had their stomach severed twice, you can't cough without feeling it. The fact that he's got like multiple stab wounds and he's still able to like scream, first of all, is beyond me, but whatever. Like, it seems like he was getting stronger the more he was getting stabbed, and like crawling up steps and just like,
no. You're getting ahead of yourself.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, he's getting fucking pincushioned, and then suddenly he gets the upper hand and fucking body slams the fisherman, and then spits in his face, and you get like this little POV shot, like looking up at him, like, yeah, bitch. And like he's standing up, just got victorious over the fisherman, and then it hard cuts to him fucked up on the ground, like, oh, crawling up the stairs, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, first of all, you didn't go for the kill shot, and second of all, how did we go from you're fine and kicking ass to like clinging on to life?
The adrenaline ran out.
Yeah, that was the movie. Also is poorly edited. There's a couple of moments like that where it just hard cuts, and you're like, whoa. What happened? But yeah, you have that, and then he gets all the way to his door, and then his rich dad comes out, and you get a little double kill there, which this was my favorite kill in the movie, where he sticks the hook in his dad, and it slowly goes through the other side, and then eventually it displays their bodies like fish, like like in Jaws, like the trophies. So now they're out, and at some point, maybe it was before this, they go to meet the pastor. There's something that leads them to the pastor. It was Ava, Ava and Danica, and another red herring where it's like, you're the weirdest fucking pastor I've ever seen ever, and so he's in there. The chick who's like the assistant washing the window in the background, super weird.
We find out that the person who died in the person who was driving the truck in last summer was a member of that Birds on a Shirt church. So that was the connection there. And then they check the pastor's book, and he's got a picture, kind of homoerotic, if I do say so, in that book.
And that was the thing I was puzzled with, because when we eventually get the motivation from Stevie, she makes it like that was her love interest. Like, this is the guy I was in love with that got me through rehab and was bringing my life back together. But in that moment, it's like the pastor's secret gay lover. Like it's like a weird like fucking Joker journal, and he's got like a little cutout of him and this guy, and it's just he comes in and it's left open, and he's like, that's peculiar, and shuts it.
Yeah, what doesn't the priest buy it like relatively soon after that.
Yeah,
Like
well,
once the third act
he's
starts,
really
it's
odd.
just
They like make a, oh, I left my oven on, and he's like, oh, okay, I'll see you at church on Sunday, or like whatever fucking weird shit he said. And then they get the fuck out of there, and eventually she goes to the scene of the crime where they've got the Jaws sharks up with the two victims, and no, she freaks the fuck out.
which, by the
And
way, if you're Ray, don't you think that they would start talking about like, oh, this reminds me of 1997, and we should probably talk to them and remember, like what is the goal if you're Ray? Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
no, but yeah, so she goes and sees that her ex-fiance is now dead, and she screams, and they're like, oh fuck, we got to get the hell out of here. So then Ray's like, go, and so they take Ray's boat, and it's Stevie, Ava, and Danica all haul ass on the boat. And as soon as they're like, a good ways away in the middle of the ocean, they cut to, I don't know, somehow they got tipped, the police got tipped off to the pastor or something like that, or the church, and they show, and he looks like he's praying, and they do the little overhead pass with the camera, and he's got his eyes gouged out, and there's something skewering him where it's like holding him there. And they go into the office, and they show this picture where they're like, wait a minute, detective, isn't that? And then you see the picture, and it's the pastor, it's dude who died, and it's Stevie. And so again, weird way that they give us information in this third act, because they don't wait for like the Scooby-Doo moment to show us. They show us right before, both times. So okay, it's Stevie, weird, and she's the one driving the boat, fuck. And so then this fisherman comes downstairs, they're on the boat, and Ava and Danica are there, fighting them off or whatever, and then she just pulls it off, and it's like, it's me, bitch. And
which doesn't happen in the original. Like, there's not like that reveal like that.
No, and neither of them. And so then you get this scene that's trying to be really cheeky, where Danica says something, and then Stevie cuts her off, and she's like, now are you gonna let me fucking finish? Like, she has to get through her James Bond villain speech. And so then you get the exposition of the explanation of, oh yeah, it was the guy that we killed ended up being a guy that I was one of my loved ones, which again, it made it seem like boyfriend, but they didn't say boyfriend. He was darting off because he found that I was going with you guys, and he thought I was going to relapse. And he had just helped me put my life back together, and now I wanted to take all of your loved ones away for revenge.
So why kill the pastor?
Which again, why I asked, why did you try to kill both of them earlier on in the film then? But nonetheless, so then yeah, she has her whole moment, and eventually Ray has a little dinghy, and he gets to the boat, and Danica's upstairs while Stevie's in the back of the boat, like, come on, or not Stevie, Ava's like, come on, help. And so Ava and Ray come up to the top where Stevie has a hook against Danica, and Ray starts, Stevie, what's going on? Why are you doing this? The cops came to me and I gave them nothing. Like, it's not too late. And then she seemingly kills Danica, and she falls over the edge, and then Ray hesitates and maybe says something else, and then shoots Stevie, and she goes over the edge. So okay, fisherman's dead, and then it hard cuts to Jennifer Love Hewitt like meditating or some shit, and you get this voicemail where it's Ava, and she's like, hey, we totally killed the killer, and it's just me hanging out with Ray, we're on the way back anyway, love you, bye. It's like, why the fuck would she call her? Why wouldn't they call the cops? Like, hey, we found the killer. Guess who it is? Also, my friend is like, clinging to fucking life, floating like a goddamn buoy.
Get another pincushion too.
We could maybe get her some help, but no, she just goes and chills with Ray in his bar. She's just sitting there at the fucking bar. Before that, so she gets the voicemail, and it's like, oh my god, the killer was Stevie. Isn't that crazy? And then Jennifer Love Hewitt's like, wait a minute, and then just like Googles Stevie and sees a picture of Stevie standing next to Freddie Prinze Jr., and it shows us that like it's supposed to be this big shocking reveal, and it's like, bitch, we've known the whole movie they were cool. They've been together like 7 fucking times. What is that picture supposed to mean to us? Like, obviously they're trying to like make it like, oh my God, they knew each other. Yeah, you fucking told us that for an hour and a half.
The first thing she does is call that teacher she met last week. Meanwhile, her best friend washes ashore to some random person on the beach that has to call the fucking guy.
But it's ridiculous. And like, I almost like the movie more now that I'm talking about it, getting good laughs out of it. But like,
because you go hospital.
Oh my God! Like, we unmasked.
It's a shame no one knows where you are.
We've unmasked the killer. My best friend is dying. Fuck it, let's go hang out at Ray's bar. And then
who could use a shot?
Jennifer Love Hewitt, knowing absolutely nothing about anything, is just like, wait, Stevie's the killer. Hang on a second. And it's you get that picture of her standing next to Ray, which means nothing to the audience. Even if it did, it's like, yet again, you're showing us the killer reveal before the killer reveal. And so then they're at the bar, and
he takes off his shirt or something, and then you see a scar. Or like
they're debriefing. Yeah, they're debriefing. And he goes to take his jacket off, and it doesn't even really get a good shot of it. Like it's not like it cuts to.
Yeah.
It's not like it cuts to a bandage or something like that. But he takes off his jacket, and then she has this little flash of her whoosh, like slashing the fisherman. He goes in the back. She tries to leave. It's locked.
I can walk.
He comes. Yeah.
I need the fresh air.
Yeah. He comes out and he's like, "Can't let you leave because you know it's me, don't you?" And they have a little
sticker that far.
If he's the killer and Stevie's the killer, why the fuck didn't they just kill the two of them at the top of the boat? Why go through the charade of trying to wound her shoulder or hit her with a blank and let her wash ashore? Like, why go through all of that?
Yeah, you're in the middle of the ocean, no one else around, but I kind of want to get caught.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what? Just because we need to have a scene where Jennifer Love Hewitt comes in at some point and does nothing.
She has Google. Yeah, Google's very
shows up. She shows up, and Ava comes out with a knife in her back, and then Ray, what are you doing here? And we get the horrible moment from the trailer where he gives his little Scooby-Doo moment where she's like, "What the fuck, Ray?" And he's like, "They were bad friends to Stevie." Why are you killing people? They were mean to Stevie. And they fucked up her life. And then he goes from that. She wanted revenge, and I knew how to do it. And then
they need to remember us. Like,
then he gets into that. He's like, they tried to erase us. I got to party like it's 1997. And in that moment, they're trying to be Scream. They're trying to be meta. Like, I know what you did last summer as a franchise was forgotten, and we have to make them remember that we got fucking teeth too, bitch. And so
by using the Scream playbook.
Yeah, you have that. You have that, and then you get that awful moment from the trailer where yet again, poor Jennifer Love Hewitt.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, what are you waiting for, hon? It's like, oh, fuck me.
You're not wearing the right shirt for that line. Thank you very much.
And even that moment in the original film, like, it's iconic, but it's stupid. It's iconic for being ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's iconic for the way that.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's iconic for Scary Movie just ripping it to shreds. So you can't make that like a badass moment. But she says it twice, and then we don't even get like a confrontation between. Don't get like a fight scene, a chase scene between the two of them. He just, "This is gonna hurt, sweetheart," and then just whoosh, he gets killed by the harpoon. And then they make a joke about like, I hate the 4th of July or something like that. And she's like, couldn't agree more. And then it shows Danica washed up on the fucking shore, like, oh, fuck.
Some woman walking her dog. Hey, you all right?
Like, just so they could set up a mermaid joke. Just so they could set up a mermaid joke later on. She's alive. And then, Ava goes to the fucking hospital, and then they both get out of the hospital. Their world has just been fucked. Everybody they know has been killed. Family, friends. One of their best friends was a killer. There's so much crazy shit going on. And they're just like, oh my God, I have not eaten in like forever.
Literally have not eaten in forever.
Yeah, and so it should be like a cute joke, like, yeah, we haven't shown them eat the whole movie, have we?
Yeah, because hospitals don't feed people. Sorry.
That too. Yeah. And so then, yeah, you have the end of the movie, which is the worst scene in the movie, which is a tall fucking order, but it's the worst scene in the movie, where they're sitting there like on the beach in their fucking like nightgowns and casts, eating shrimp or some shit. and they're just making like fucking little like teenage girl quips, and then one of them randomly is just like, "Oh my god, did you hear that Stevie's still alive? What? That's crazy." And it's just like, did you just sequel bait me in the dumbest fucking way possible?
Dude,
Like,
it's like they forgot that they made a movie for fucking 18-year-olds and like, oh, we have to make everything TikTok as possible in the last 5 minutes. It was just so weird.
It's just like, oh my god, did you know that the killer's still alive? Like, oh yeah, it's wild. Have you tried this with tartar sauce?
It's
really good.
giving
tartar
strange.
Sauce. Yeah, and so you have that, and then the line, which I'm sure we'll unpack a little bit more. So then the movie, the camera is going up, I believe, to the sky or something, and she's like, you know what's crazy? This all could have been avoided if men just went to therapy.
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh. Cut to credits, and then you didn't see the mid credits?
No, my
scene,
uncle
right?
wanted to leave early.
Okay, yeah. So did a lot of other people. Midway through the credits, you get this credit scene where Brandy, the roommate from the second film, is watching the news report for the third act of the film, basically, and it's like, local Southport resident Ray Bronson was found out to be the masked killer trying to kill Julie James or whatever, and she's like, everybody's always trying to kill that girl. And then you get a knock at the door, and fucking Nick Fury comes in. And it's Jennifer Love Hewitt with a leather jacket and like a Unabomber hat, like she's on the run. And they give a hug, and she's like, oh my god, like, I'm glad you're okay because I just got this. And it's a fucking note that says it's not over. And then it's a picture of them in the second film with a big red X over Brandy. And Brandy goes, so who we fucking up this time? And Jennifer Love Hewitt goes, I was hoping you were going to say that. And then it cuts to, the rest of the credits. And it's like, first of all, fuck off.
Yeah.
Second of all, how are you going to sell me on this badass final girl moment when you didn't even give her one in this movie? I love Jennifer Love Hewitt. This is nothing against her.
Mm-hmm.
She did nothing in this movie. She played no part in it aside from giving some exposition. Like, It's not like they had she came in to save the day. She didn't like save Ava. She didn't take out Ray or anything like. She did nothing. She was just there. So how is it supposed to be like, oh my god, the next movie is going to kick ass? It's the movie that I've been waiting for, and you didn't even sell me on that in this film. And to have a mid-credit scene too, like, anybody that has seen the movies knew there was only one card left to play, which was Brandy showing up. And I can't think of anything else to say while he's getting whatever he's getting. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, some people seem to be really jazzed about that and can't wait for the next film. If it's successful enough for them to do it, I just hope they do a lot better. Like, I'll be curious to check it out, especially if it's more the film that I wanted this time. But I really didn't like this one. Uh-oh. Well, while he's gone, if you guys want to throw some stuff oh, he's back.
Sorry about that.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get houses with multiple flights.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I rushed. I think I skipped 4 or 5 stairs. Yeah, so if they're clearly baiting a sequel.
I really know what you did last summer.
Who would be I don't even remember the end of the second one, to be honest with you. Like,
the end of the second one was still the killer from the first one, but he had his son with him as well as like an accomplice. You remember the scene where he's like, come on, Julie, my name's Will Benson. Ben's son.
Oh, I don't remember.
The second one is not. Second one is not good. Like, I would understand somebody putting this one above the second one if you don't have some nostalgia for it, but it's kind of a guilty pleasure where this one's just guilty.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like who would be motivated to just pick up 28 years later and decide to take out Brandy end? Like, what?
Presumably it's Stevie, which doesn't make any sense, but presumably it's Stevie, unless they're going to bring back somebody else. Fucking Jack Black's the killer.
Yeah, so there's this like theme of nostalgia's overrated. I think that's a line in there. But
it is, yeah.
They keep exploiting nostalgia, like if only to kind of like shit on it, and then like they're using the tropes of Scream, like you said, you know, the rules. That's kind of a Scream thing. That's not a I Know What You Did Last Summer thing. So, like, I do you think that maybe the director, she wanted to do a Scream movie, and they were like, "Well, this is Sony. Do you want to do I Know What You Did Last Summer?"
I don't know, man. Like, it kind of breaks my heart. I see all these clips of Freddie Prinze Jr. He's notorious for saying no to all of
And
these
he signed
projects.
on without a script, I think. Like, he
Yeah,
was given the
so
idea.
he's presumably said no to like a She's All That legacy sequel, a Scooby-Doo legacy sequel, going back to Star Wars. I'm trying to think of any role he's famous for that they would bait him for. He says no to everything. And so, like, you listen to an interview with him and he's like, you know, they approached me and they already knew I was going to say no to this, but the director and co-writer said, "Hey, well, sit down with me and let me pitch you where these characters are, and if you like that, I'll pitch you the movie." And he loved what she said so much that he signed on before a script was even written. And so that pitch must have been awesome, but it was so lost in translation during the writing process, which is a shame because the idea on paper of we're going to see these characters, you know, 20 something years later, and Ray is so fucked up from what happened that we're going to heel turn him and it's going to be this big shocking twist. Like, there's a version of that could have been incredible. This
Sure.
ain't it.
You got to get us there, though. You like,
Yeah,
he's
you
just
can't just
dormant for
fucking say
28 years, and then suddenly, how dare they mistreat that employee of mine?
Yeah, exactly. And there's a stupid fucking line in the movie too where like he has a moment with Stevie and he's like, "Stevie, I promised your dad that I would always take care of you." And it's like the only thing we know about her dad is that she fucking hates him. That he like
Thank God there was
spent all of her money.
so much exposition in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. And so like, you know, anyway, that's neither here nor there, just another fucking chink in the armor. But yeah, it's a shame because you got to think whatever the idea was, he was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm here for that." And then no, it just it did. He should have waited for the script. That's what I would say.
Yeah,
And then Jennifer Love Hewitt's funny too because I've seen interviews with her like back whenever it was unsure of where she was going to sign on or not, and she very clearly said, "I don't want to just be a cameo. I want to be an active part in this film. I only want to be in there if I'm in the movie." And I would say that they gave her an extended cameo. I wouldn't say that she's an
she used Google.
I wouldn't say she was an active part of the story, you know? And that's the thing that's weird about the script. It almost felt like they wrote a script that would function without Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. as just a modern I Know What You Did Last Summer. But if they decide to sign on, then we have these little optional scenes that we can stick in there.
Yeah.
Much more so with her than him. But even him, like, just cut out one of the endings and that's your movie.
Yeah, I think if you take the legacy characters out and just make it Stevie and add a little, flesh that out a little bit more, like she's, you know, jealous or something, I think that could work. But like, it's almost like, oh, okay, they signed on. Let's just throw them onto parallel sides of the protagonist and antagonist. Like, it doesn't make sense. But like you said, if you're going to have Freddie Prinze Jr. be the villain, we need to witness that. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, there's not even, for as much as you're faking everyone out with the priest and the rich father, like you at least need to do that with him. Like, just give us some sort of inkling that something's up. It's just weird. It's very weird to, I don't know. It's odd that Freddie Prinze Jr. was on board with this. And very publicly, Luke Skywalker had a problem with his script, but did it. And we have the inverse here, and
you're really trying to hammer home this Last Jedi thing. It's gonna fucking happen, bitch.
Yeah,
wait for that live stream, everybody.
It's just like
I Know What You Did Last Jedi.
I'm in.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. It's ironic. It doesn't make sense that, like you said, Freddie Prinze Jr. like traditionally doesn't sign on for things, but signs on for this sight unseen. You know, just elevator pitch. I'm in, and this is what he signed on for. Like really?
You know, we didn't even bring up Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, Yes, the thing that I thought was the problem. Where
Yeah,
like
yeah, you messaged me, you were like, "Bruh," and I'm like, "I don't even know what part you're at, but yeah, I know."
and I'm like, wait, she wouldn't know her. She wouldn't know anything. Like their same picture. And I'm like, oh, it's a dream.
Here's the
Okay.
thing. I like the scene in and of itself. I like the fact that she showed up. In the theaters, the de-aging looked much better than the screenshot that you sent me. I don't know if it just looks shittier on shittier copies,
I
but
took a picture in the theater.
yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't translate to the phone.
Exactly. And so, yeah, it was clearly de-aging, but it was one of the more convincing de-agings I've seen. And I like the fact she deteriorated into a corpse. I like the scene, but why the fuck wasn't that Julie James or a Ray dream?
Does not make sense for Timu Sydney Sweeney. Why would she know her? Like what is
falls asleep. Oh my God, we're stuck in this fucking police room and our friends are dying. I'm gonna take a nap.
An incredibly intricate, detailed situation that how would I know any of it for? Like it like if you're gonna like lean heavily on fan service like that,
that should have been the thing that motivated Julie James to get into fucking high gear and go to help them in the third act. You have her have that nightmare of her friend that got killed, saying like, saying whatever. The dialogue gives her just what she needs. Oh, wakes up. Oh fuck, I gotta help these kids.
Or instead of Googling, like having her have some sort of nightmare with Sarah Michelle Gellar's character, like something's wrong, like, or like it's a lot closer than you think, or like just some sort of thing that, like, considering the Julie character is so pent up and teaching trauma, like have her be some sort of trigger and not be so simple as I'm gonna look on the laptop and get the shortcut to this. It just feels very shortcutty, very second rate, very, I don't know. Can I copy off your homework?
Yeah.
But that is, I know what you did last summer. I gave it 1.5 out of 5. Cody, I've heard you go down and go up. I don't know. Are the comedic values bringing it back up for you?
Well, I mean, you and I roasting it is the most fun that I've had with the movie. But yeah, no, when I reviewed it, I gave it 1.75. I'll stick with that.
I wish we saw this together instead of Scream 6 or 65 because holy fuck.
We would have been kicked out the fucking theater. Like everybody just trying to enjoy it. We're like, what the fuck? This is like Last Jedi.
Luke wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll give you a little warning for Dexter. So we're going to spoil that now if you're not caught up. We're going to be spoiling the most recent episode and I guess the episodes prior to it, but what are you doing here otherwise? Spoiler now, spoiler.
It would be a great prank on JDev if we just cut the stream. Like, all right, good night, everybody.
Yeah, so Resurrection episode 3, I was very reluctant, very skeptical in episodes 1 and 2. I may not be where you're at. I might be over where you were prior to episode 3, but I don't know how the fuck they got me, but they got me. Like, I'm in. Like, how the fuck did they do that? Because I was like, no way. But by the end of episode 3, I was like, okay, all right, I'm here.
That crazy, toxic, abusive ex. You swear up and down, I'm never getting fooled again, but the sex is so goddamn good. And you're like, fuck, they've changed. They've changed. Yeah. They're meditating now. It's okay. Yeah,
we're going to therapy. Everything's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you and I walked in, I think, equally skeptical, where it's just like, okay, bitch, like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. This is like the 4th fucking time. And so I walked into it very much knowing, however they explain away the ending of the last ending and how we're now here is going to be sloppy as fuck. There's no clean way to do it. It was never part of the plan. So whatever explanation they give me is probably going to be bullshit. Hopefully we just get past that smooth enough and there's a lot of reward behind that. And I would say that's the case where, the episode starts. I really liked the kind of cameo porn in the first 10 minutes where we got the Trinity Killer. We got to see Miguel again for the first time since season 3. Then he surprise motherfucker. And then I like the scene too where
Eric
for
King
him
could play him now as like, the past version of him.
I kind of hope they do. I kind of hope they do. And nobody will bitch. But I like
Certainly not me.
yeah, I liked how we got that scene with it, even though it's Dexter saying this basically. I like the fact that we got a scene with him where he's, I know you never have anything good to say about me. And he's like, I was wrong. Underneath all that creep motherfucker shit, you got a little glimmer of good, or whatever the hell he said, something like that. I was like, huh. And it feels like that's the theme we're going for, because there's something in episode 2 where they end and Harry's like, since when do you do things to help other people?
Yeah.
It feels like to me he's done a lot of things to help other people, but for whatever reason they're really trying to focus on it here where it's like the first time.
I'm
So
not
it feels
one
like
on
that's,
that, but I can probably come around. Like, I don't tell me that he's doing things. Like, show me. Like, I'd rather you do it and not tell me.
He's saved other people
Yeah,
before. He
sure.
saved, plenty of people. But yeah, so I think that's going to be the running theme of this, is that he's going to suddenly become this really good person, like finally fully gain his humanity, even though we've seen him gain his humanity 6 or 7 times. And simultaneously, it's also his downfall with Batista, where it's like finally he's going to be a true like good guy while everything crumbles. But
he still has like moments of selfishness, even as recent as episode 3, where it's like,
for sure.
But
I mean, like,
you came here for your
feels,
son. Remember your son?
Yeah, that feels like that's the arc they're going to go for, though. Even though, like, we've had the whole theme of like Dexter starting to have feelings now, ever since like season 3.
Every year, is it?
Every year.
Could this be? Do I actually love someone? Yeah, you did the last 4 times.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I like the cameo stuff at the beginning. They won me back on Harrison quick. Which was shocking because I hated that fucking character by the end of New Blood. Even before he killed his dad, I'm like, I'm sick of this whiny bitch. And
Listen,
you get to
10
this
weeks
one,
is a long time. He's doing just fine now. He's grown up.
Exactly. So yeah, immediately where they just kind of show him doing his own thing, and he's a lot more likable and being his own version of Dexter, but for the sake of saving somebody, not just because he needs to kill somebody. So kind of being the version that Dexter wishes he could strive to be somewhat. And maybe that's what they're arcing at. They're going to meet together in that. But immediately was won over with him. And the only rocky part of that first episode, which is the part that I expected, which is when, where the fuck is Angela? And you get the Dudley Do-Right that comes in and he's like, I'm the sheriff now. There's a note for you from Angela. Here you go. And he goes to open it and it's like, get the fuck out of Iron Lake now, or we're even.
We're even, yeah.
And I'm like, which is funny because when we did our little like how we would have ended Dexter stream years ago, that was something that I was really trying to push, was like having that other, rich real estate guy or whatever be alive and have him save the daughter to give her a reason to like, okay, we're even. I'm going to give you a fucking break. But they didn't earn it. They didn't do anything. She just had a change of heart. So Angela finds him dead, seemingly dying, tells Harrison to get the fuck out of Dodge, drives him to the hospital, and then takes blame for the gunshot, and then eventually goes to goes back to the sheriff's office and finds Logan dead. Goes, oh fuck, self-defense.
Yeah, like it's weird. I kind of like the idea that Teddy's like, yeah, she knows that you were shot at. So like there is that moment where he shoots him before he gets strangled, where it's like, okay, I guess you could take that way. Like that's something of a little sneaky hole that you could. It was enough for me, but I kind of wish just the timeline doesn't work. Like, wait, she shot him, and when did she find out that he was shot at? Like, at what point do you?
It had to have been after she
hospital?
dropped him off at the hospital,
like,
because she was presumably the one driving him. It was a police vehicle, so it drops him off at the hospital. Goes back to the fucking station, finds another dead body of her.
Right. Bring her back for the first episode or 10 minutes of the first. Get a feature role. Like just flesh that out just a little bit. But I know.
Just show it. Show it. Don't tell me. Like have one scene where she comes back. I don't know why she's not here. I don't know if it's a scheduling conflict. I don't know if they didn't want her back or whatever. But like, you needed to show that. Just the fact that he just exposition dumps all of it, and it's like, well, goddamn, I'm the luckiest motherfucker on earth. Hell yeah. And then Batista walks in and is like, never mind, fuck. And what I loved the most about that was that now Batista's playing Dexter's game, where they're both kind of faking their conversation, where it's like, hey man, good to see you. How's everything going? Like, what happened back there? Yeah, what you been missing for? And like every question he asks is like, it's got a sheen of like friendly, concerned friend, but he's really detective.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
When
then
he
Dexter's playing the same
when he
game.
says, I overturned your death certificate.
Yeah,
And
you're
then
alive again.
internally he's like, oh, so that can get a death penalty now.
Yeah,
Or something
exactly.
like that.
You
It's like
can't prosecute a dead man. Yeah, I loved all of that. I loved all of that because it was cool to see. It was cool that my concern from the trailer was like, don't tell me Batista's going to be a dumb fuck and be like, oh, you're alive. That's weird that your girlfriend said you were the Bay Harbor Butcher. What a crazy bitch. Anyway, give me a hug.
Yeah.
I love the fact that it plays very differently in the scene where it's like, that is what he says, but in the context, it's different. It's not him yet again kind of being rose-colored glasses with Dexter. It's him going like, all right, motherfucker, I'm on your ass now. Like, you got to explain a lot of shit.
Yeah, because the last time we see him, he grabs that like file, which is rather full. So like he's got something on Dexter. So thankfully they don't forget that. And it's another thing where it's just like, don't worry, she told me what happened and she shot you. And just like, could you have shown us that? Could you have shown us that exchange? Or like, oh, okay. I do agree. I feel like, I mean, why else would you show Angel if there's not something else going on in big picture? Because in episode 3, there's, we'll get to that when we get to that, but there's something bigger happening with Angel, and I'm here for it. I just, I'm curious as to what the rush was in the first 2 episodes. Just felt like they were like, and
well, they had a lot of chess pieces to move around,
yeah,
and you know they have to explain away New Blood. They have to ignite the Dexter versus Batista stuff. They have to show where Harrison is. They have to get Dexter interested in and at where Harrison is. They have to introduce the Uma Thurman stuff, and they have to lay the groundwork for Dexter's first kill, which is going to be his path into the Uma Thurman and Peter Dinklage stuff. So there was a lot of moving stuff, and I think they did mostly a good job at kind of shuffling it around for the first 2 episodes, more so the second episode.
The first 2 episodes are very fast, and the third episode feels settled, where it's just like,
yes,
can you give me just one slowdown episode? Can episode either 2 or 3 be the, all right, let's ease into things? It just feels like fast, stopped. I just, it's a minor complaint, but like the pace is just so wildly different.
Yeah, it's valid. They had a lot of things, a lot of conveniences and contrivances to try to just like, I don't know why we keep getting 10 episode seasons. I don't know why that's the new thing.
It used to be 13.
Yeah, or 12. But to me, yeah, it's the first 2. There's a lot of things, and then in the second episode, it's the Haitian driver. I think he was Haitian. You know, hello, my friend. Yeah, we there's a serial killer out there that's killing all of us. It looks a lot like you. Anyway, here's my address. Come to my party.
Do you need an apartment? The other thing that kind of bothers me, that Harrison's sleeping on other people's couches, and Dexter's got a job, a car, and a new place.
He's been at this longer. He's been at this a bit longer. He knows how to get shit done. But yeah, I loved Harrison's first kill. I loved the fact that he came in as like the Dark Avenger or whatever he used to call himself in season 3, Dark Defender or something, and then him kind of improvising with the hotel shit, how to clean everything up like his dad taught him, and cutting back to the Kirk Caldwell moment and cutting him in 9 pieces and everything. Very gory too when they show him like pull the head off. I was like, damn. Yeah. And I don't mind the needle drop so far, because every time they do it, somebody's got headphones on, and so it at least feels like it has somewhat of a narrative place. The only thing that I can say I really do not like across all 3 episodes is this detective chick. I think it's such a ridiculous, like, cliche character. I don't understand what they're trying to go for with her. Like, at first it was just like, it's such a boring cliche to have like the super detective with a tick, and hers is I gotta have headphones on while I think. And they're like, what's the deal with her? Oh, she sees shit that the rest of us don't. Oh, she can tell that the fucking knots match on the goddamn. Wow, what a goddamn Sherlock!
Thank God for that iPod.
No shit, she finds it in seconds. Hey, over here, 5 more bags. So yeah, I don't like her character at all. And again, in episode 3, not to skip ahead, where it's just like I gotta put my headphones on, walk down the hallway, and go in the first elevator and solve it. Just no, whatever they're doing with her, it's not working. And you kind of read my mind. You were like, it feels like discount Boondock Saints with like
Boondock Saints with autism.
He used to have the little earbuds and do the Mozart, and she's like, I'm gonna listen to funk. And this dumb bitch, she's just like, hey, what time is the catching close?
Yeah, that
1 a.m. Match. What?
Yeah, that doesn't match. Like you do, like this is your process is having headphones, but you don't know that. Like that to me feels disjointed. Like, wait,
yes.
Like if that's your thing, you would have had this experience before where, you know, people, you can't hear other people, but yeah, it's odd. It's very odd.
Back to episode 2, I really do like the whole. I love the whole Dexter being petty as fuck over somebody else being called the dark passenger. Oh, I love it because Harry keeps calling him out. He's like, "It's my fucking name." You're just chasing him because you want to kill him. It's my fucking name. He's an imposter,
dude. It's wild. Like for a minute there, I thought that was Michael C. Hall, like the guy who first, the dark passenger.
I thought it was him too in the introduction scene.
Yeah, I was like, wait, is that looks weird? But it's the cop guy from Compliance. When she speaks German, like I
Companion.
What did I say? Compliance? Yeah, Companion. Yes, when she's with Sophie Thatcher, where she's speaking German to a sheriff. He's the sheriff in Companion. Interesting. Like it. I was confused for a bit there, like because he looks like, because you only see like his nose and mouth, and it was and. I don't know. It took me a second to, maybe more than a second, to get adapted to that. But the rush with the My Ride, I forgot what they call their version of Uber.
U-Car.
Yeah, like that felt way rushed. Where, like. I don't know. For as much as I thought that was rushed, and like he's officially a part of the family now, and like eating dinner, and having moments with the daughter tells him where she hides pot. It's just like, okay, hiding spot, cool. I forgot what the fuck it was. There was something between episodes 2 and 3 where the fact that like he wasn't talkative. I think it was episode 3. He wasn't talkative with like his personal guy, like asked him for a cup of water or a charger or whatever. And he got a 4.2, and 4.2 is like a 3.4 on YouTube apparently, where he's like, "Oh, we got to get it fixed." And it's just like, what? This is important. Like it was a cover. Like him being an Uber driver was a cover to catch the I forgot what he was, like a tech. What the fuck is he? He's like a fucking computer tech or some shit. But
an IT guy or some shit. Yeah.
Like I would like to work for it a little bit. Things are a little too easy. Like Dexter goes to the city to find his son, finds him immediately. Dexter becomes an Uber driver and catches the guy within 2 or 3 days of doing it. Like without knowing the next 7 episodes, it's easy for me to say, breathe, like earn it. But I don't know. I feel like, considering what they have in the trailers, and this is why I hate watching trailers, the fact that the Uma Thurman thing is set up, like, I'm intrigued, but I kind of hope it's fleshed out and takes its time, even though it feels pretty much settled by this point. Bridge data systems. Thank you, Jada. There's a bunch of things that, like, I wrote down retcons of retcons. So Dexter, what I like is the fact that he doesn't have a police system to lean on. Like, he's using all of these interesting websites, and he still has his ID number to order M99, which is now M99 again, which, okay, you're retconning your retcon. Awesome. And all he needs is a phone call to be active after 10, 12 years, and just gets M99 delivered to his house. And It's just a little too easy. I just I don't know what would make me feel better, just like some sort of trial and error. Like I don't know what the answer is for me, but
I
it's
kind of liked I mean, you got to remember we went like a decade without Dexter. New Blood barely counts because he was, kind of off the grid.
mhm.
So this is Dexter with like modern technology. And so there's even the joke where he's setting up the kill room and he's like, holy shit, I can just order all this off of Amazon. This is great.
Yeah, they like cute nods that I appreciate more than just outright, saying something like when he's checking the dude's apartment and he's looking for a hiding spot and there's that look to the air conditioner
Mhm.
and Harry's like too obvious. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
like thank you.
Yes.
Yes, thank you for tipping your cap to the loyal faithful, but not diving into that pool.
Yep.
Um,
Although that guy must never fucking vacuum because that little imprint, that little fucking imprint is like always there, even though he only stands on it for 30 seconds.
yeah, I don't remember how they set that up with Uma Thurman having his his
She
trophies.
saw the same imprint. She saw the imprint and looked over and saw the boxes and set them there and then looked in the ceiling tile and then she left the invitation. Then Dexter did the same thing.
Yeah, this is a still developing part of the story, but like I want to know like how they know who he is, and it's not a thing yet. It's the future, but how
Mhm.
do they know who he is, and that's neither here nor there. That's for the future.
My speculation is that I mean, you have Dexter here who is a serial killer, and so he uses all of his skills to figure this shit out. My assumption is that Uma Thurman is some kind of like special ops person or some kind of badass bitch where she does all of that legwork for Peter Dinklage. And so she just, seeing that there's a dark passenger out there, she's able to put all this shit together that Dexter is, but she
Yeah,
just beat him to it.
yeah. That setting up the dinner thing was interesting. It was a nice touch where she's like, "This person is vegan. Use discretion. This, that, and the other thing." It's just
And
okay.
it's going to end up being Dexter's going to have to pretend to be vegan because I'm pretty sure they showed like vegan ice cream or something in the dark passenger's fridge or freezer. I think isn't that what Uma Thurman saw whenever she looked in the freezer? I could be wrong. So there's going to be a funny scene because he's a big meat eater and everything. He's going to be like, fuck, I got to eat like vegan risotto or something.
Mm.
And that maybe
I
that's what
don't remember that, but yeah, it was in
I think that was a detail in episode 1 where she's looking around and there was like vegan ice cream or some shit. So I'm thinking the fact that they called back to it and said, make sure one of our people are vegan. It's the dark passenger guy. And then Dexter's going to have to, it's going to be a funny moment where he sits down to eat and he's like, fuck, else has got steak. I got tofu.
yeah. There's that moment where Angel retires again. They show him down in Miami, and he's calling it quits again. And fan service, which if that's going to be the fan service, I'm okay with it. I like the visual difference. Like Miami, very different, more
Yeah.
colorful.
As soon as we got the overhead shot of
Yeah.
Miami, I was like, yes.
Yeah, like I like that. I like that they're making the old Dexter world have some sort of thematic look to it, whereas New York is very different and like awesome, cool. But please don't like it was this minor scene. I think I showed you, Cody, a thumbnail that I was suggested on YouTube where someone's like, "Oh, the gang's back together," and I'm like, "Slow down." It was a fucking 2-minute scene. This isn't going to be Miami Dexter, and if it is, I'm going to be kind of disappointed. But for the sake of fan service, I think that was perfect because it seems like what they're doing is they're setting Angel up to retire to devote all of his attention on keeping track with Dexter, what he's doing now, because he asked about Harrison and the truck and things. So interesting touch. I just like that there's a visual difference between Miami and New York, like very clearly different. And
Yeah, I'm curious if we're gonna get more of that. But yeah, I liked the scene. Like, it wasn't really anything that really pushed the plot forward necessarily. It was mostly just a fan
yeah,
service moment. But to me, it wasn't like cheap fan service. you get Quinn in there, and like, what the fuck, man? Are you retiring again? And it's to set up how the captain of Miami Metro is able to just be in New York for the next 3 seasons or whatever it is. Very much doing kind of like the Frank Lundy thing where he retires and just starts chasing Trinity for the rest of his career, the one that got away. But I like the moments where, the line where he's like, is there ever been like one thing that you just can't let go of? And he's like, yeah, fucking Ukrainian stripper, worst mistake of my life. Going back to season 7. And it felt, I told you this, I was like, it felt so good to hear C.S. Lee do the thing where I'm like, oh, the real one is back instead of that annoying fucker in Original Sin.
But it's not that he was annoying so much as they like fucking fist forced it in
5 minutes.
Dude, we get it.
Yeah. And then the little OnlyFans joke and like classic Masuka lines. So I think that's all we're pretty much going to get with them, aside from maybe a few little cutaways or maybe to Quinn or something like that. But I am looking forward to the point in this story, whether it's this season, next season, whatever, where Quinn gets brought in and there's a real conversation between him and Batista about everything that went on in season 5.
You would hope so.
And even more so, like Masuka's never really been involved with the investigation. I want to see the scene where they tell Masuka, like, wasn't Dokes, it was fucking Dexter. Because like that's basically like his partner for all intents and purposes. And I want to see like that dramatic side of Masuka. So I'm looking forward to how all that's going to play out.
That's what I like about like having this difference between New York and Miami. Like Miami can be fun loving. Like that's kind of what it was in this scene. But when things are in New York, have it be more serious, have the tone shift. Like if you want Masuka to be, dick jokes and all that shit, leave it there. But like to have this like clear divide, I think is really good for the sake of not really blending the two generations of Dexter, because it's very, very clearly two generations at this point. Something that stuck out to me that I don't know how the fuck they keep doing this, because they just retconned something in Original Sin, 6 months ago. And there's this moment where Dexter and Harry talk about, remember when I was 16 and you helped me do this? And it's like, yeah, no, the show doesn't, because as far as the fucking Original Sin's concerned, you didn't do anything with Harry until you were like 20. So like just a fucking half a year later, they're retconning their retcon, where it's just like, do you guys like have the same fucking meetings, or like, does it matter? It's just, it's not that hard to like just have someone who's like a continuity captain or something, like just, oh yeah, you can't, it was just this bullshit line where you could have just changed it. But again, tiny nitpick. I'm glad that M99 is back. Whatever. It's not that big a deal, but it's just like, it's not that hard.
It is that big of a deal.
Okay, you said it, not me.
Yes, there's a reason why so many Dexter fans are like, bitch, whenever they said ketamine, like ketamine tracks you to all these other murders. No, the fuck it doesn't.
Yeah. What I have a note here that says the return to comfort is a bit too easy. I think that's the reference to the fact that Dexter is just okay immediately, and like again has an apartment, has hiding spots. He's back in the groove. I would have liked to have some sort of, I don't know, trial and error period. Like, oh, I don't have the police computer, where it's fine. I just wish there would have been some sort of doing it the old fashioned way to find out that he needs to use Amazon to buy shit. Like it's just, oh, let me pick up the phone and call the M99 dealer and they're going to ship it right to my address. Like I wish there was just some in between thing where it could have, I don't know, him finding out that there's, it's a lot harder when you're not on the inside of the police force. And to have him like so starkly contrasted by Harrison, and like Harrison sleeping on couches and shit. And the fact that he gets interviewed by the police and he was hot on the like suspect list for episode 3. And then like his girlfriend is his alibi. I kind of wish that was strung out a little bit more. Like you could have stretched
it will
that.
Be.
Yeah, but it seems like the fact that she vouched for him and was his alibi is kind of the end where.
Well, yeah, that was the only little piece that the detective had that was the question mark was, why did we not see him leave the hotel? And then that question was answered. And it's like, well, fuck, even if it's him, we don't have anything solid now, so she has to go back to the drawing board. Clearly, it's not going to be the end of that storyline. So I don't know what's going to come next, what they're going to find next. But yeah, I think that's just they're just tabling it for now, where Harrison's able to move on and do other things for the rest of this a couple episodes at least.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of season 3, season 4 Breaking Bad, like Jesse vibes out of him and this mom and the kid. Are you?
Oh wow, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that, but yes, now that you said it, yes. Oh, that's weird. Shit, that kind of floored me.
That's what I'm here for.
So the trailers lead you to believe that, well, at least led me to believe that Dexter was the invitee to this Avengers meeting of serial killers, and I didn't like that idea. And oddly enough, the fact that he took out the guy who actually had the invitation and will now pose as him, I don't know why that makes things better for me, but that was enough for me. I'm like, okay, now go ahead.
It makes it better because we don't believe that Dexter would be found out that quickly. And somebody would have to find him out or be on his trail to know enough about him to induct him into that. So he's taken the place of somebody who was much sloppier.
Yeah. And I think this is why I avoid trailers, because the trailer had the newspaper articles of the Dark Passenger, and like it was sneaky editing the way they put those two together, that like, oh, Dexter's in the newspaper already and he's being invited to a Avengers meeting of serial killers. Like,
I don't remember that detail, but the trailer was cut in a way where a lot of us who are Dexter fans were like, what the fuck are you doing? And then in the context, it's like, oh,
yeah,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it's weird how it's one of the few times where all of your fears aren't being confirmed by the whole product.
Right. And I don't know. Normally I don't watch trailers, or I try to avoid them. The fact that I did see it and it's not what I was worried about has actually kind of backwardsly won me over. I'm like, oh, all right, well, I could lower some of my guard, not all of it, but some of it. That's interesting. I'm like, as much as they've kind of won me over on Harrison, knowing the cast and what's on the horizon for Dexter, how are they going to balance Harrison and Dexter? Because, like, considering the actors they have, this is going to be a full plate for Dexter. So, and again, you only have 7 episodes left. What are you going to have, a star per episode that are the bad per episode?
Yeah, that's the one thing that I'm still a little bit worried about, is we're getting Batista and Harrison's storyline and breadcrumbs so far. And Dexter should be the main focus. But I'm worried that by episode 10, even if we like the season, it's going to be like, feels like we're really dragging our feet with those other 2 storylines just for the sake of making multiple seasons. Like the opposite problem of New Blood, where it's just like, where it's like, what the fuck is your rush? And then here it's like, come on, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm curious what's going on with all of that, because I don't know. There's a lot to speculate about with this little secret society thing. Is it going to be something where Dexter goes in posing as the Dark Passenger and then reveals that he's somebody else, and they're like, dude, that's fucking badass. And then, all of a sudden Dexter's there, or regardless, is he going to be like commissioned? How does it work? Is he commissioned by them to go kill people and bring the trophies back? Is it just they hang out with each other, but they all could do their own thing, except for when they have the little dinners? Like, there's so many questions. And then you have to presume that once he gets in there, he's going to turn on them. And then one by one, he's like, okay, I have to kill Neil Patrick Harris. I'm going to kill David Dismalchian. I'm going to kill Kristen Ritter. Is that going to be the pace of it? Is we're just going to one by one take them out and then eventually end with Uma Thurman and Peter Dinklage by episode 10? Is this going to be something that goes across the next couple of seasons and him and Batista are just going to be the main season closer? Like, there's a lot of things and a lot of questions. And like you said, like 7 episodes sounds like a lot of time, but you're like, that used to be half a season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 3 episode chunks were like their little mini storylines, 3 episode chunks.
Yeah.
Again, I fucking hate that they kept announcing this shit on social media. Like, I know that Steve Sherpa, an actor from Sopranos, is in this season. I can't help but think he's going to be some sort of mob guy. Like, that it's New York. It's him. Like he only gets mob guy work. So that would be interesting if maybe Harrison gets tangled up like over like they have so many names in this like dinner party thing. I would like I don't know if I'm creating too much of an expectation for myself. There's this. Well, I know where all these serial killers are. He goes to this dinner, and I don't know. Perhaps by season finale, Angel's on to him, and maybe there's a moment where Dexter offers him dirt. Like I'm so sold on the fact of him being a bad guy for the good guys that like I want it to work. So I'm trying to make fetch happen where it seems like it's this off ramp where he gets in with this serial killer party, and if Angel's on his tail, I don't know, maybe there's this conversation where Dexter's like, well, I'm going to prevent all of this from happening. And I don't know, I'm getting way ahead of myself because Dexter could just be going to that party and offing all of these serial killers, which is, that's not abnormal for him. That's kind of his MO. So it'd be interesting to have him like have a final boss every week. I don't know if that's too much, if it's too much of a good thing or what, but a lot of high quality performers on deck, and it's I don't know, like I'm nervous. Like, are we going to have too much of a good thing or not enough of tiny great things? Like, there's an awful lot in this season already where it's just like, why so much? Yeah. Why so much and so little? Get those extra couple of episodes going.
I'm assuming it's going to be something like season 5 where we have a group of people and our freak of the week. I'm less critical of that season than you are, but yes, I think that one left a lot of room where, like, the freak of the week was one of them for 2 or 3 episodes, and then we had 3 episodes or whatever building to the ultimate confrontation. So as long as they pace it out well, they can sell us on it, but I'm not sure. I don't know. There's a lot of information to get about this. We're going to be episode 4 getting introduced to our big bad, where typically we know within episode 1.
Oh yeah, I guess we do. Oh, we didn't in New Blood. I guess that doesn't count.
We did. We at least saw the guy killing the woman with the hunter outfit. We didn't know it was.
Oh, right. Back when we thought it was the billionaire. Waste of time. So where do you think the Harrison storyline could or should go? Because it's still kind of
clearly Batista is going to meet up with him very soon because he's tipped off that the truck, Dexter or Jim Lindsay's truck was sold or whatever, and he just needs to know the name. So I think in the next episode, Batista's going to meet Harrison, and Harrison's going to find out that Dexter's still alive. And so I think we're going to have a situation where Harrison throughout the season, I don't know when him and Dexter are actually going to meet face to face again. I hope they don't drag that out till episode 10, but I'm wondering if Harrison's going to end up in a point where he feels very conflicted. On one hand, he still kind of feels like maybe a little conflicted, but his dad was bad and needed to be put down, which he clearly felt that at one point, but also kind of needs his dad's help to get away with his current situation. So I'm wondering if he's going to end up getting in a point where Batista's the angel on his shoulder and Dexter's the devil on his shoulder, where, Batista wants him to help him bring his dad down. And not only because he feels guilty about it being his dad, but also it's like, my dad's the only person that can help me get out of this. Or maybe Batista ends up compromising himself at some point and is like, I'll help you get away with this little sticky situation if you help me, with the little sting situation for your dad. Yeah.
Like something that I'm still rather skeptical over is the fact that what the Dexter character is telling us is that he's like trying to make sure that his son doesn't get in trouble. But what they're showing us is Dexter's just back to his old tricks, where like he got jealous, he got catty about someone using his name, which cute. But now he's going to this dinner, and I feel like they're setting this up where Dexter's just going to be knee deep in his same old bullshit, killing killers. Meanwhile, the purpose of all this starting was him to, you know, get to his son and help him with his own problems. Where I don't know, I would hope from a dramatic standpoint, if Harrison like finds Dexter and realizes that he's just back to doing his same old shit, I would like for a dramatic purpose to have Harrison be even more like fucking pissed or furious or like, you know, like, first of all, I thought you were dead. I only found out you're alive, and now you're just doing the same old shit. Like, what? Why are you here? Like, you came here for me, and you're just back to doing what you were doing. Like, you have to remember their last conversation. Yes, Harrison's had some moments where he's, you know, second guessed things, and he feels funny. That's fine. But the last conversation that Harrison knows that Dexter killed what's his face, the police officer. So like I still need, as far as Harrison's perspective is concerned, Angela's one thing, sure, you can come to that conclusion, but Harrison knows. So I need you need to earn that relationship back better. And I hope they do it. Like it feels like they're on these two separate paths, and I don't like the idea of Angel being the bridge to those two paths. Especially considering what they were telling us, what the Dexter character was telling us in the show was, I need to go make sure that Harrison's all right, and, you know, make sure that I clean up after him. And then that kind of happens, and now he's off doing OG Dexter shit, which, yeah, okay. Are you gonna?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you gonna earn it? Please.
Yeah, I mean, clearly Batista's going to be the bridge in some way. I don't know if he's going to openly just tell Harrison, like, hey, your dad's alive, or if he's going to play coy and kind of like see what he knows, see what Harrison gives him under the presumption that his dad is dead and there's nothing else that can hurt him. I feel like at some point, obviously this detective character is not going away. At some point, there's going to be something that slipped through the cracks that's going to put Harrison back into the detective's scope.
Yeah,
and I feel like Dexter's at some point is going to have to do something to help Harrison, whether it's cover something up, get rid of some evidence, do whatever he usually does in the original series. Whenever, you know, like the season 2, where he had to keep getting rid of evidence. There's going to be something there. I mean, Harrison already clearly feels kind of fucked up and guilty about what he did. I don't think it's going to take a whole lot, like when his dad shows up alive again, to him to be like, holy fuck, good thing.
What if Angel is the first person he sees, and he feels weird about seeing Angel, but accidentally confesses to shooting Dexter, and that triggers Angel a bit more, like, wait a minute, that's not the information I have. Where, like, Angel gets even more suspicious now that Harrison's confessed. Like, I'm going off on one, but
maybe. Is Batista's sister going to come back into it and be like, I babysat you, like,
please?
A fucking mom? Yeah, I saw you more than your dad did.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck they did it in just one episode, but I was kind of sitting with my arms crossed, like, yeah, okay, after the second episode, but somehow during the third episode, I'm on board. I'm on board, and I'm like excited.
It's because it's the first time since, I would say season 7. It's the first time since season 7 that it feels like classic Dexter to a point.
Yeah, I think even at its worst, it could probably end up being like season 7, where season 7 was like the best thing of those last 4 seasons, not counting New Blood, where it's just like, it's just a turn here and a turn there. This could have been really something good. But yeah, the table is set for something really quite interesting.
I love the dark humor being back. I love Michael C. Hall being able to be funny again, because I don't remember him being funny at all in New Blood. The moment
his like internal dialogue was interesting, where she's like,
there was a few moments.
Don't you know sarcasm? He's like, no, yes.
Yeah, moments like that. But yeah, I loved when, you know, he's looking at his new best friend using some kind of metal flashing, and I remember him just staring at it, and I was like, what is he thinking about in that moment? And then whenever he tries to trap the dark passenger, and he's trying to cut
over
his neck. And then I love the moment too where Dexter's so literal. So like he asks him a question, he gives him the literal answer. He's like, motherfucker, he's getting pissed. He's like, oh, I'm so scared. I love the look on his face where he's just like, oh, fuck. But yeah, whenever he pulled out the metal flash, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And I also didn't mind the motive for the dark passenger either. Like it felt like it was something like racial in the episode where he was like only killing
New York
Haitians or something.
Yeah, cab drivers are not white.
Something about the context of it felt like it was directed at immigrants more so than U-car drivers.
Thank God they didn't say it, because that would have been obnoxious.
Shit. Yeah, it felt like that. So when he gave his explanation of like, oh, my dad was a cab driver and this new shit took his career away, I was like, oh, okay, cool, good. We don't have to get political with Dexter. Thank God.
Yeah, please don't, please. It's something that I don't know if I turned away or if I wasn't paying attention. Both are probably possible or probable. But when he puts the body in I like that he's got a new thing now, that he's in the era of new blood.
Pulls it out like a hot steak.
What was the thumbprint for?
To gain access to the secret dinner.
Oh, okay, right. Because I was just like, wait, I thought it was to get into the building where I don't know what
so
the hell happened.
He was reading the rest of the invitation, and it's like entry by thumbprint only. Oh fuck! And then he pulls it out.
Yeah,
he's trying to blow it off, and yeah, that was great too.
Yeah, it's nice that his new thing is burning bodies, a consistency. Even like the one thematic thing that I like is that they've taken things about New Blood. It's that same widescreen that it looks gritty and real, but if we're going to Miami, it's cheerful and colorful, and the humor is a bit more poppy. Like I like that it's like this blend of everything, and I don't know how the fuck they did it, but they got me on that.
There's a lot of personality in New York as a setting too, whereas the little town they were in New Blood had none. It was just gray, snow, ash. And so that was the big thing, that like you were missing so much personality from Miami, and then here you get personality back. It's just different.
Dude, like even if it wasn't I think it was the first episode where the hotel room, it's nighttime, and like the reflection of the neon, it just bathes the room in red, where it's just like, see, now this is ambiance. This is fucking awesome. That's not something that's normal for Dexter. So like, yeah, it's the one thing that I really dug about New Blood, where it was a bit more cinematic, and now they're kind of like crushing the two together, and it's working somehow, for me at least. I'm shocked at how they kind of blended the two together, and I'm here for it. I quite dig it. The needle scratches are needle drops, excuse me.
They can slow down with them for sure,
but having watched Yellow Jackets, I think maybe that's just a fucking Showtime thing, where they need to have a new song every 5 minutes, where it's like, fuck, all right, what is this soundtrack? I'll buy it. Like it's just so many different tracks where it was never like, they had music in the original Dexter, but it was never like you could have a soundtrack per episode. Like, I don't remember music being that big a deal. I don't know if like that's the gimmick they're trying to incorporate in Boondock Saints headphones there, but I'd like that to be toned down a little bit. And to be fair, they did tone it down in the prequel series, just like they toned down the like the first 3 episodes. It was like, all right, take it easy. So we're still 3 episodes here, but and Twisted Reality says, I wish they would quit playing rap or hip hop in Dexter. Even the outro song was rap for episode 3. New York is very diverse. If you're going to represent New York like that, fine. But I would just like it all scaled back. Please.
Bring the Alice in Chains back.
Yeah. Anything else for Dexter moving forward?
No, just don't break my heart again. You've got me. Now keep me, motherfucker.
Yeah, dude, if like, I don't know how I'm going to handle it if they somehow like, if they do it again.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. God help whoever watches that live stream. Ooh. Ooh.
I think it'll hurt more because I was guarded for the first 2 episodes. Like, yeah, okay, this is okay, but stop. And now I'm like, okay, what? Bend over on the coffee table? Sure. You smell good.
Choke me, I deserve it.
Guys, he says he's sorry this time. I think it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know when we'll, or if we'll get back together. Probably at the very least for the end of the season. But maybe we'll touch back at what it would appear to be the end of the second act of the season. Maybe at the end of episode 7. Maybe, unless something ridiculous happens otherwise. What I'll do is I'll open it up. I saw there was a couple of super chats. Cody, you have a couple of minutes. Okay. So let me read the super shit, and then I'll, if you have anything to ask either of us in the chat, I guess now would be the time. And I have to load it the wrong way. I don't know why OBS does this way. Forgive me.
No.
Adam, so basically it's a background. Oh, we're going back to I Know What You Did Last Summer. Adam says, so basically it's a background movie. Yeah, I would. If you have friends that it's worth watching, I think. Does it depend on what your relationship with the original film is? I feel like if you're a fan of the series, it might be.
I don't know. Like, a big thing that I said in the middle of my review is I really don't know who that movie's for. Because on one hand, it feels like it really rewards you to be a fan of the original. At the same time, it kind of fucks with you.
Yeah.
And it kind of shits on the fact that you're a fan. So I don't even know if I would say that if you're a fan, yeah, go see it. And at the same time, I don't think it's very good as an onboarding movie because it's referencing a movie you haven't seen so often. And then the end, it's like it has no significance. So it's not good enough on its own merits to even be like an onboarding movie. So and you know, we didn't even get into it, but like you said, it's very Gen Z coded. It's very geared towards females in certain ways with the dialogue and kind of the tone between the characters. I don't know. It's just it exists.
Yeah. Like I can't imagine, like, if you watch this first and then go back and Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character, like you're experiencing the original for the first time, that's got to be a weird experience where you know where he ends up. Yeah, I don't know if it were true that the director of this, she were like a serious fan of the franchise, I'd be like, how? What did you do here?
Yeah.
Morrissey says, I ain't got anything cool worthy to say for super chat, but I can say my mom gifted me a dragon with alopecia. I guess it's a normal dragon, really, since dragons don't have hair. Alopecia, that's just like an albino, right? Isn't that what?
I think so.
You're guys who post reviews on YouTube, right? Or am I wrong? Am I in the wrong stream?
Wrong stream.
He posts reviews on YouTube. I dabble. Hayden Cinema says, I agree, but I truly believe it would have been a better experience 15 years ago when the generic parts weren't so generic. I guess you could say that for a lot of things, though.
I don't think it would have been much better 15 years ago. A bad script's a bad script. It might not have felt like Too Little Too Late with some of the legacy sequel stuff, but I don't think it would have made that big of a difference.
Yeah. Robert says, did none of these kids have families? Oh, the rich kids? Yeah. But they're old kids. Like they're teenagers. They're dumb teenagers that don't do anything dumb because, you know, because they get bailed out because they are just in the area when something terrible happens. It's just a weird movie. Like it does the slasher thing, but it like subverts all of the moral stuff that you know for the slasher subgenre. Like, oh, you've got to pay for that thing you fucked up. But this movie, it's like you got to pay for that generation before you being so terrible at everything. Just weird. Logan says, this content makes my day, guys. big supporter here, Cody. I know you're a busy guy. If you get time, I sent you an Instagram DM. Always keep up. Anyways, keep it up, guys. Thank you, Logan.
Thank you.
Yeah. Adam says, would the new I Know What You Did Last Summer have done better if it came out around the same time as Halloween 2018?
No, it probably would have been worse because most people consider Halloween to be like the cream of the crop as far as legacy sequels. So it would be even starker of a comparison.
Yeah.
Was that before Scream? It was before
22,
Scream.
right? Scream.
Yeah. It was before Scream came back by a year or two. Yeah, I don't think so. Like, it's not that the movie's like, oh, this is too late. It's just bad. It's not like it's good, but it just feels like we should have got this before now. It's just not a good movie.
Do you have?
So I don't think that.
I'm sorry. Do you?
I don't think the release date matters. Sorry.
Do you have a theory as to why people are saying this is what Scream needed to be? Because
I think they just appreciate the fact that it had balls to do what it did in the third act, but I don't think it's ballsy if it ends up not working. I think it's just foolish and stupid.
yeah,
Like what did you want Sydney to be the killer in Scream 5? Shocker. Like I don't know. I think it's that surface level. Which doesn't surprise me because the people that I've seen say that seem to be very surface level with how they look at films.
That kind of sucks though. Like I can't help but think they by that logic you want the 2022 or the newer incarnations of Scream to do something like Dewey and Stu. Like it's not Dewey, Stu and like so you want someone that we somehow care about in the movie to end up being the killer, and after all of these years later, like I don't know why that makes it what a bolder choice or something that's like, yeah, right on, finally they did it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it either. I don't think like I've been confused with the amount of people that said that that's like this awesome ballsy thing that makes the movie. It's like it's one. I think everybody involved with I Know What You Did Last Summer knows that it's not like this huge horror franchise. So it's not like them taking a risk is really that big of a risk.
Right.
If you have a bad I Know What You Did Last Summer movie, is that really going to like set the fucking fandom on fire? So it's not that big of a risk, but also, like I said, if you don't execute it in a good way, it's just dumb.
Yeah.
It's not ballsy. Like it would if Sydney just, hey, it's me, after fucking 4 times of Ghostface coming after me, I decided if you can't beat them, join them. Ha ha ha. Like if it's that stupid, is it really ballsy? It was it ballsy to make Freddy a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon in the 6th movie?
Yeah.
Was it ballsy to have Freddy be a deadite or Jason be a deadite? Was it ballsy to have Michael Myers be in a cult where he impregnates his niece? Like,
yeah, like I feel like you're not making an I Know What You Did Last Summer requel.
Was it ballsy to have Halloween Ends not focus on Michael Myers at all? That was ballsy. Yeah, why didn't everybody say that was ballsy?
You're doing an April Fool's Day remake, essentially, where it's just like, oh, the people that you kind of care about, psych, they're not who you think they are. But okay, thanks. I don't know why that would be associated with Scream, though. Do you guys plan on doing a spoiler stream of the season as a whole when Resurrection is finished for the season? Yeah, probably. Sure. We just brought it up. Sky says, happy Sunday. I'm in the last hour of my birthday. Turned 30 today. Oh, happy birthday, Sky.
Happy birthday.
Adam says it definitely feels like we should have gotten this around Scream 5 to play up on the legacy sequel stuff.
I just don't think there was any demand for this franchise. It's not like, I don't know what it's doing financially, but I mean, my first response when they announced this was, who's asking for that?
Right. I genuinely think I Know What You Did Last Summer is the worst legacy sequel of all time. Generic slasher with horrendous dialogue on top of completely ruining legacy. Yeah, I
strong argument for it.
Like who is this for? And the thing that I saw most, and we were kind of talking about it in the Autopsy stream chat, was like people were griping about Jennifer Love Hewitt and her physical look, and I'm like, oh my god, is that what the discussion is about right now? And I'm kind of glad that that's deteriorated. And the discussions, or not the discussions, but I've seen a couple of comments being like, implying that it's woke, and I don't think that. I think if you watch slasher movies and you think that highlighting strong women is new, like that's not entirely true. I just think the gaze is tilted. It's there's more topless men than there are topless girls. You take away that dumb therapy line, it's not that egregious, and I think people are just so sensitive to anything remotely close to it that everyone just talks about it. We're just like,
well, it's that there's a lot of people that walk into every movie sniffing for it. Like almost every single movie review that I do, eventually there's some comment that says, "How woke is it?" Or like, "What's the 1 to 10? How woke is it? What is it on the woke meter?" And when you walk into every single movie or TV show expecting it, all you're going to do is find shit to validate it. Oh, there it is. And that's why it's fucking annoying when you have this movie that maybe gives you a few cents and then you get that explanation of, "Oh, I just wanted to kill all your loved ones so you could feel my pain." And it's like, okay, cool. Narratively, we explained it.
Yeah.
Now we're good, right? This would all be avoided if men just went to therapy. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it. We were at the credits. We were at the finish line and you had to fucking just throw it in there at the end.
Yeah, I think,
and that one line is all it needs for anybody that was sniffing for it to go, see? It's everyone.
The divide is people like us who watch hundreds of new movies a year. We only see something like that 2 or 3 or maybe 4 times in the calendar year, whereas they're like, God knows what they're doing on social media every day, but they're only watching 4 or 5 movies a year. So if one of them does it, that's 20% of their film intake. So it's a lot bigger a deal to them than it is to us, where it's just like 2%, where it's just like, yeah, they talked about it, but like, have you seen these other movies? Like, it's really not that big a deal. It depends on what your algorithm is doing, where if you want to find it, you could find it in Alien. Like,
yeah. I mean, you have a bunch of Marines that are a bunch of pussies and a bunch of morons, and then the skinny chick comes in and saves the day. Like we make that joke all the time. Aliens today would be called woke as fuck.
Dude, Ripley was written as a man. Like people, as much as like, oh, why can't it be like Ripley? Oh, you mean the character that was written as a man in the script? Go on, keep talking about how woke this wasn't. I still understand people like the relationship played up there for Ray, and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Where is that?
People still like Ray, to be fair, and we're just going to say that everything in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer amounted to nothing. It's just stupid, and even though I've never been a fan of the original, I still understand people like the relationship played up there. But they're divorced, like they totally unravel it without really explaining why. If you have no history with this movie, I guess that's the most normal thing, because you don't have the history established, where you're just being told that, Ray's a survivor, but also he's pissed that people are forgetting about him. But like, it like really shits on anyone who has the pre-established relationship with this movie. It's kind of, I don't know.
Isn't that just the patriarchy line of Ellen Burstyn and Exorcist Believer? Yeah, good example. It's another one where it's just like, why is that here?
Yeah. And a line isn't, it's not beating it over your head. It's forced. It's obnoxious. Yes. But it's a wart. I wouldn't say it's Black Christmas 2019.
Yeah.
Just guy says, I think she's hotter now. Even maybe just a MILF lover.
Jennifer Love Hewitt has been
Hewitt's gorgeous.
smoking hot every single decade that I have been alive. Full stop. Truth.
Right. It's a blanket statement for any movie they don't like. It's kind of tired.
For most of them it is. Yeah. Oh, it's beyond tired. It's beyond tired. It's like politics. You have the extreme woke, you have the extreme anti-woke, and you have the rest of us in the middle going, can I just watch a fucking movie? God.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the plot, cinematography, acting, something?
Well, like that's a pain in the ass, because like when you're like, trying to call balls and strikes and be like, hey, you know, this doesn't work. One of the sides is going to be like, what? See, so now you're on the other side. Like, no, but like, I'm trying to be as down the middle as possible. This line feels weird. I'm not saying that like they're fucking forcing it into a narrative, but it doesn't fit for the rest of the movie. It sticks out. And like, I just can't stand that somehow has seeped into every discussion.
Mm.
But when are you watching Fantastic Four? Are you Monday, Tuesday?
Thursday, I believe.
Oh, you're
I don't
waiting
think
that
they're
long.
I don't think they're doing early screenings for it.
Well, how the fuck does Sean talk about who the fuck has a? Isn't there like
Sean,
early
press screening? Probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there. I mean, I was invited to the press screening. It's either Monday or Tuesday,
Atlanta?
but I'm not.
Not taking
Yeah, I'm
that
not
trip?
driving to Atlanta for that. No. So yeah, I'll see it at like 2 p.m. on Thursday.
Well, what else you have coming up, Mr. Leach?
Tomorrow I will probably do a ranking of the I Know What You Did Last Summer's. The 2 videos I've released so far seem to get a lot of views, so people want to talk about it. So I'll rank them. What else do I have coming out? Do I have any other plans? Obviously, Fantastic Four. That review will be Friday. I don't have anything else written down. So then I'll have to make up some shit. You'll get a Dexter review. Yeah, you'll get a Dexter review. I'll either review Fantastic Four Thursday and review Dexter Friday, or it'll be Friday and then Saturday. But you'll get that, and then I'll think of something to do Wednesday and or Thursday. Maybe I'll do a I don't know, Q&A or something. I'm not far from 200K, so I'll definitely do a live stream whenever that happens.
Yeah, almost there.
Very close. I got like 100 and change left. I'm at 198,387. So, or 1,000 and change, not 100 and change.
So if you're somehow watching this and not subscribed to Cody Leach, go ahead and amend that. I don't know if anyone who's subscribed to my channel who's not subscribed to yours. That would be insane. It's the 5 people that are like, "Are you going to do another solo video?" Because that's all I'm here for. Can you do French SA stuff, please?
Or it's the 5 people that when I'm not here for a Q&A, it's like, why the fuck do we always have like these lazy 33 on 31s? Why doesn't Cody watch anything foreign ever besides all the film festivals he goes to?
Yeah, I'm not
Hashtag
implying
Team
anything.
Brian.
Did he wait? Somebody asked it earlier. Did Brian end up seeing I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025?
It would be weird if he didn't. Why the fuck would he review the other ones?
Yeah. So whoever asked, I would have asked Brian to this. First of all, I don't know if he's seen it yet. We don't spoil things in the autopsy stream chat, and there's no shot he's awake right now. So there's that. So
give him an extra day because he has to write out the script. Brian's trying a new style. So
speaking of new style, I too am. You've gotten my message earlier in the week. I'm going to be shoving pre-produced content, movie content on the Savage Cinema channel. Link is somewhere on my content. What do you thumb up? Me?
That choice.
Yeah. So the produced content will be there. WILIscredia will still exist. A lot more of this live stuff. This is more of the stuff like this, where a bunch of different people talk, different perspectives. Savage Cinema will be me talking about cinema that's a little savage. So go over there and sub there, because I'm not putting anything new on there while it's not AdSense proper. So you'll get shift over from the past and updated reviews and such, or stuff that's been up for a month or 2 or whatever. But if you're into the produced content, sub over there too, and you'll get everything. So for Cody Leach, the ghost of Brian Lomax, I have been
speaking of no, Brian has not seen Dexter. JDev asked that. It took me 10 years to get him to watch Breaking Bad, so sometime around 2035 I'll convince him to watch Dexter. He said no to Dexter because we talked shit about how badly it ended twice. So maybe if Resurrection is awesome, we can win Brian over. And
yeah, I don't know if we're going to win him over on that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want prompter Brian talking about Dexter because man, he gets sassy.
Brian,
he's such
never.
a catty bitch with a script in front of his face. Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right, guys, see you next time.
Bye.